Hello there. Welcome to the Cantina Roundtable. I am Sombraptor, and we are live, it seems.
Yes, we are live. Hello, everyone. Let's give it a moment or two for fuck Top Chat. Give it a moment or two for people to bail on in.
Yep,
How
yep.
y'all doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just
It's warm weather finally.
thank God.
Okay. Last week, yeah, last weekend, the place I live, Central Wisconsin, we got 2 feet of snow.
Jesus Christ.
2 feet.
Oh my God.
It dumped one day and we got a foot, slight reprieve. Then it dumped another day. It was real, and this was during the week where I was up for 40 hours working.
Oh.
It was a shit time. Hello,
Oof.
chat. How y'all doing?
Hi, chat. Oh
mean-
my God. Ben Olrand. I get that. I get that reference.
Adrian, Devil Luke. Yes, Solo could be a good film. However, with the production turmoil, there's been a lot of films that have suffered lesser issues and have turned out to be train wrecks. I'm hesitant, but I am looking forward to Lando. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Solo. I'm not gonna say I'm hyped, but it could be good. It could also be a complete train wreck. Funny because there's a train in the.
Young Savage, watching this on the toilet, that is the only way to watch any of my videos. Or anything on my channel for that matter. So.
Well, you're not wrong.
Okay. So if you want to start us off, Sam, because we're just kind of rolling in on this now that people are here. Last Jedi did nothing wrong. Oof! Yeah.
Just getting my pop
Yeah.
out of chat.
So, what are your thoughts on Solo, Sam?
Okay. Let's start with. I'm still not down with Alden Ehrenreich. What the actor for Han? I still don't think he looks anything like Harrison Ford, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's slightly concerning that supposedly the reports of that he needed his acting coach with him for every single scene he was in. That's slightly alarming, but
Yeah.
whatever. Lando. Oh my God.
Perfect.
Perfect casting.
Honestly,
Oh my God.
I don't think
Yeah.
Childish Gambino looks anything like
it's
Lando.
it's less about look and more about personality. Watching him on Community and watching his stand-up, and just the overall vibe he gives off, I buy it completely.
Now, see, a couple years ago, Donald Faison, who plays Turk from Scrubs, had always expressed that if they ever did a Han Solo / Lando Calrissian movie, he'd be down to play him. So I was always kind of rooting for Donald Faison.
Yeah, I can actually see that as well. But also, all in all, I think it is a good casting decision because at the end of the day, for me, I don't so much care about the fact that Han Solo's new actor doesn't look like Harrison Ford.
Does he embody the character?
Right.
That's more important.
And
yeah, I agree. But
I'm worried about Han because of the acting coach stuff. However, because of things that I've seen Donald Glover in before, I think he'll do a good Lando, like a really good one. But I've been wrong in the past, so.
okay. When it comes to visuals, some of the shots in the trailer were pretty good. Nothing like okay. We have very differing opinions on this. Boofires thinks Rogue One is okay. Delta hasn't seen it. I think it was great, especially visually. I haven't seen anything Rogue One tier to me, but the visuals seem pretty good. I especially like the with that shot from what looked like from what I think is Corellia, probably Cornet City, looking up, seeing the Star Destroyers in production. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I still haven't watched the trailer. I don't watch trailers
There's
for
like
anything.
there's like 3 trailers too.
I know. Um, like I remember.
Also,
Yeah, go on.
um, we may or may not be getting Mala, from the holiday special.
Uh,
There's a Wookiee who may or may not be Mala/Mala Tobuk. So that's pretty hilarious, but we'll see how that goes.
So now, my thoughts on the movie might surprise you, because from watching the trailer, I'm seeing a lot of inspiration from A.C. Crispin's Han Solo trilogy. And I think they take a lot from it. Like, you can see characters in there that, like, oh, you could point that out and be like, oh, that, Emilia Clarke is totally Bria Theron, or Woody Harrelson is totally I forget who his mentor was after Thrak and Sal Solo, but that kind of mentor
I know
figure.
who you're talking about.
I haven't read the trilogy in forever. But I think if I watch it, which I probably will, the 2 Star Wars movies I think I would ever watch are probably Rogue One and this movie.
Of the new ones, you mean?
Of the new ones, yeah.
Yes.
I have absolutely no interest in the sequel trilogy. I already know what happens to Luke after Return of the Jedi, and seeing how a lot of they take a lot of EU inspiration from, in like Rogue One, for example. I think I would enjoy it for what it is, And just seeing some of the space battle scenes, they look fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Rogue One. Okay. Kyle Katarn will always be the Death Star plans thief for me, but I still adore Rogue One. I gotta say it.
Well, if you if you watched my, don't mind me plugging myself here for all these fine viewers.
No, go ahead.
My Rogue One before Rogue One, Part 1 and 2, you would know that several people stole the Death Star plans, not just Kyle Katarn.
That's true.
So there
true
is
enough.
room for Kyle Katarn in the new canon if that's something you're into.
Yeah, like for my intents and purpose, like if my headcanon, if you will, I guess it's a mix between things I like from both continuities. I guess.
okay, now I need to look at this because a few people have brought this up now.
What up?
You guys keep talking, and I'll bring it up if
Oh.
there's any validity to it.
Okay. Let's see.
I love Woody Harrelson. I love Childish Gambino. And there's rumors that Boba Fett might be in it, and we haven't seen much Fett love in any of the new stuff.
I don't trust them to handle Fett after what the
Oh,
new crew.
Fett's backstory has been ruined so many times, even in the old canon, that I would just see him just to see him on screen,
I mean, not just backstory. Like they don't know how to write him. Like okay, Legends Boba was a very interesting character, even disregarding the whole Mandalorian stuff. If you New Canon Boba just seems to be just a complete try-hard, like... let me find this. Hold on.
Well, his backstory, what I was getting to is his backstory's been retconned so many times. I mean, we had the Young Boba Fett novels, and then a few years later, TCW came out and said, "Oh no, those, this is what happened," which, and then originally he was Jasper Mareel, and then that was retconned to be Jango Fett's adopted father.
And he was originally one of the 3
Storm-
survivors from the Protectors, and
He was originally a stormtrooper in one of his iterations.
It could be interesting if they take an idea that, I mean, this was sort of implemented into Legends, but the idea that all of those are in-universe legends about him.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Of course, there's a way to retcon and spin it, so all of this kind of happens. But just I've avoided doing Boba Fett for my Mandalore videos just because he's a tangled mess, backstory wise.
yes.
So,
hold on. Let me find the.
All right. So a few people have brought up Dr. Omega was the first, and then Marwan Wagner, Mara Jade casting for episode
What?
9. Yeah.
I saw that on the toilet this morning.
Yeah. So
Speaking of watching videos on the toilet.
yeah, but just a few thoughts about it because there's not much to say. I agree with the Screen Rant article that I read about how they are most likely looking for a character to fill the void that Leia should have had because, well,
Right.
she's gone. However, oh man, how do I put this? First off, wouldn't Mara Jade be the same age as Luke? And right now they're looking for someone
Yes.
who's 40 to 50 years old,
Yeah.
which doesn't quite line up. With that said, I have a feeling that something this big wouldn't just kind of slip out. I have a feeling this is the drum up hype for episode 9, and the term Mara is being used as a code word, kind of like how Star Wars was Blue Harvest. I could be
Right.
completely wrong, which is all well and fine, but that's my initial thoughts. And then it comes down to just like what we were talking about with Solo and Lando, is someone with the spirit of the character. The last...
But
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
No, it's good. So with Luke, they kind of shat over who he used to be, and really contradicted and made his journey in episodes 4, 5, and 6 pointless. They didn't treat him with respect. I have a feeling that if the character was explicitly Mara Jade, that, again, not treated with a ton of respect. And ultimately, if this is the last film in the trilogy, introducing her is really just irrelevant at this point. She's filling a narrative void as opposed to being something that... Yeah.
Here's
go
the
on.
thing, though. Even if it is Mara Jade, it's not going to be Mara Jade. It'll only be Mara Jade in
In
name.
name.
Right,
And
that's what I'm
vague
getting at.
appearance. Because part of what makes Mara Jade is that she was, she wanted to kill Luke all these years.
It's her history.
Finally got her chance to kill Luke, and then
Chose not
couldn't
to.
because not even chose not to. She couldn't because she needed him to get out of this. They needed to work together to get out of Merkur and to defeat Thrawn and Sabayoth.
Yeah.
And eventually, she defeated the Luke clone and got her anger out that way.
I love that fucking...
I just
That.
add more letters.
Uh,
So what about Jango Fett?
Yeah.
well, I guess real quick, that's what I was kind of getting at. Delta is the spirit of the character won't be there. You're introducing this character at the 11th hour. What role is she really going to play outside of possibly being a mentor figure for Rey? Because they killed off Holdo, and then Carrie Fisher passed. It's
Speaking
not going
of
to be Mara
shameless
Jade.
plugging, I'm doing Mara Jade for my next Mandalore video.
Look, sir,
Ooh.
if you're plugging Mara Jade, okay.
I just thought it was a decent
Stay away from my
segue.
waifu.
Sorry, I apologize for that joke. All right, you guys continue. I wanted to bring that up because it is interesting, and I may as well just talk about it quick.
And a good segue into that is another one of my feelings about the new Solo film is they're heavily advertising that Tag and Bink are going to be in it as
Yeah, that's interesting.
minor characters. But the thing that bugs me is like, oh, we've got these major Legends characters coming into this film, and Leland Chee's the one going off on Twitter saying this, and it's like, you know as well as all of us that they were Infinities and never canon to begin with.
Yeah.
It's just something that bugs me, but
I mean, I got nothing against that. They were quite funny, but yeah, they're not legends. They're infinities.
To me, Legends implies something that was once canon and is no longer. But here, go read them and enjoy them just the same, you know?
Right.
And to kind of group Legends and Infinities kind of diminishes Legends, in my opinion. But I don't want to get too far off topic.
Right. Right. See what amount of culture.
Look, and I think this just with going back to the Mara Jade thing, because I've seen this asked a few times, who would we want to return into canon from Legends? Honestly, that's kind of missing the point. When you introduce a character from Legends into canon, they need to be done well. Because if it's just a name and a face, at the end of the day, it's not the same character. It's
like half
a
of the
similar character. Like,
What?
I haven't watched Rebels in a while, but from what I saw, Thrawn was pretty well done.
Thrawn was. Rook was not. Yeah, I mean, Warwick Davis's performance was actually pretty good.
They had
but-
Warwick Davis play Rook?
Oh yeah, they did.
I just don't see him as Rook. I just picture. Did he do like any funny voices?
No, he actually did a pretty good menacing, like growly.
Really?
Yeah, so
Huh.
I'll send you a link later. But
All right. I need
yeah.
to see this.
No, it's pretty good. But the he was just turned into a random
He's not even
assassin.
a Nogri, is it? Is he? Because I looked at him a little bit on.
That's apparently what Nogri looked like in New Canon, but I mean,
yeah.
Yes, there were inconsistencies in how they looked in Legends as well, but not. I mean, it doesn't bug me, is what I'm saying. But
Oh god. Jacob, you like watching the world be set on fire, don't you? Sorry, continue.
no, all good. What was I saying? Right, Rook, I don't think was handled too well. The well,
Is Palian in Rebels too? I thought I heard.
he had a brief mention.
Oh.
Thrawn just said, "Get Captain Paleon on the comms." It's like, but so he's there, but
No Captain Mustache.
unfortunately not. He's actually one of my favorites.
Palian is a great kind of. He's up there with Mara Jade in my opinion.
Yeah, all of Zahn's characters so good. But let's see. Some people say that Thrawn wasn't handled well. I disagree. Like especially in the book. The book was so good. But in Rebels.
Well, of course,
There's
Timothy Zahn's gonna do Thrawn
yes,
justice
of
because he
course.
knows Thrawn.
Because he made Thrawn.
Now it's Dave Filoni who, kind of has a reputation for taking EU characters and kind of not really portraying them correctly. Bear Zophie.
yeah.
And,
well, that's a whole other kind of Barris.
So
we can get to that.
If he gets this major character called Thrawn, you want to make sure he does it right. I mean, Bear Zophie was a minor character, so who the fuck cares? But
What happened to Barris? I'm confused.
What?
What are you referring
No,
to?
they butchered her character in TCW compared to.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
But
That's just an example I was using.
No, it's
No, yeah.
I was.
But in Rebels, I think he was done justice. Wasn't stellar, but the essence was there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Let's see. Comments. What questions do you have? Thrawn. Thrawn was cool, but ultimately does next to nothing and fails like the other.
I
Well,
saw a scene
he
where
dis.
Ron was doing like some martial arts stuff, and that confused me heavily.
Yes. Uh, it's complicated. In apparently New Canon Thrawn does also.
He knows kung fu. Whoa.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
I know
any
kung
any artists out there, please turn please turn Thrawn
Keanu
into
Reeves
Neo.
blue.
Yeah. Uh,
Whoa. Yeah. But did Thrawn do nothing? No, I disagree because I mean, he won. He would have crushed the rebellion at Adelon were it not for Admiral Constantine's incompetence. Because that's the only thing. Like no matter how effective of a commander you are, your subordinates aren't necessarily going to be as competent, I guess.
so we have the reverse Poe then.
Don't get me started on.
We aren't. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you know? Oh yeah, Albedo. Did you know Lord Khan's dreadnought is canon? Yes, because in a TCW episode, they actually copy and pasted text from Wikipedia, turned it into Arabesh, and put it on I believe Admiral Yularen's datapad or something. Pretty
Fuck.
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
Well, so is an Indiana Jones's hat too.
Oh. So, now that we've kind of petered out, there is one thing I do have to ask. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I've made it clear that I'm not the biggest fan of canon right now in the direction that it's going. Now, this unto itself wouldn't be what... How do I put this? That alone wouldn't be why I hate canon. I have my other reasons for it, but Sam and Delta, what do you think could be done by the, Star Wars as of right now to bring you back if you've kind of fallen off? Because I'm displeased and angry about it. I suspect you're that way, Sam. Delta, I know you haven't been touching it, but what would you guys like to see? Because it's one thing to bitch and complain about something. It's a whole nother to try to find a solution.
I try not to complain about new canon because I, haven't
You
really
just don't
digested
care.
it.
Right.
I'm still very much in love with Legends, and there's still a lot I actually, have to read. I don't really know much about the Yuuzhan Vong and New Jedi Order era, hence why I haven't really done any videos on it. But my biggest thing is, if Legends is continued alongside canon, I'm not asking for Legends to be recanonized, just as an alternate universe alongside canon, and give me more media to purchase, I will purchase it. I think seeing the Jaina Solo Black Series figure, pretty much skyrocket up on Amazon when it was first released, is proof enough that there are Legends fans out there who will buy Legends content if you produce it, whether it be action figures or full-on story media, And we're not asking for full feature-length films. We're not asking for TV series, although that would be nice. We're not asking for new video games, although, again, that would be nice. We just want books and maybe a few comics thrown our way,
Yeah.
Somebody has asked Leland Chi on Twitter, I forget who, but I remember seeing this in one of my Facebook groups. He basically said that the money to advertise such media or get such media published isn't in Disney's budget. But
It's like, come on.
But
at
they're
the same time, you have this whole demographic that you've alienated, and that's like inventing a new toilet plunger and saying, "Oh no, only women can use this toilet plunger." Well, then you've alienated half your
you see,
your buyer's market, you know?
and with that mindset though too, that's already, how do I put this? It's already contradicted by the fact that Disney is repackaging and re-releasing all of these legend materials, books and comics and so on and so forth.
I mean, if they have the money and time to put a freaking banner on a book that was published a couple of years ago, they have the money and time to, publish new books. There are expanded universe authors out there. I think, not Troy Denning, but
John Jackson Miller?
yeah, I think he said that he'd be willing to write a new Legend stuff if he was ever given the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I doubt Timothy Zahn will say, no, I'm never going to write Legend stuff ever again. Why not? He would probably love to go back to the universe that he, helped build.
Well, Delta, you basically took all the words right out of my mouth, because I don't boycott canon material. But I'm just less invested. If there's something that catches my eye,
disinterest. It's not boycott. It's simply disinterest. Yeah. You're not going to buy something that's not marketed to you, are you?
Right. Right. It's just I'm going to Okay, I watched Rebels. I thought it was good, not great, but good.
Great in comparison.
It's I occasionally read some of the new canon comics, but you can bet your ass that I'd buy every single last piece of new Legends material. I mean, assuming it was good, of course, but.
Even buy some of the shitty stuff just to have it in your collection,
Yes, even that. I mean,
I've got Dark Empire, and I wasn't a fan of some of the concepts introduced in Dark Empire, but I have all those comics and sleeves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. Do they not want money? But
one thing is, I've seen the argument that creating two separate universes would be too confusing, but yet that
they
argument
own Marvel.
Well, no.
Yet Marvel
yes.
does that. DC
no,
does that.
I understand that, but what I'm getting at here is that's already contradicted by, again, the re-releasing, and republishing of Legends material. You slap that Legends banner on a new, 20, 30-page comic book, people will understand. It's not that hard.
Yes.
But then again,
and before anyone points out that there is still Legends material being produced, we mean in a meaningful fashion, not just the Old Republic updates and RPG supplements.
God, I have a love-hate relationship with that fucking game. Ugh. I mean, okay. Do you guys have anything else on that topic before I go off?
I just want good stories. That's what I want.
All right.
They need to keep politics out of Star Wars, I think.
Agreed. That is very much an agreement, but
here's the thing. This is actually a good way to segue. It's, to me, my biggest issue is, first off, again, a lot of it's not interesting me anymore because it's just dull. And the way I put it is, I've seen this all before and I've seen it done better in Legends. I just do not give a shit. There's a lot of idiotic storytelling as well that is going on. The New Republic in canon is a testament to that.
Yep. Also,
However, yes.
Oh, no, go ahead.
However, my biggest issue stems less from the quality. Shit is shit. You can ignore shit, you can talk about shit, you can complain about it. That's fine. The thing that I take issue with stems from the creators and those up high, where, fuck, they don't need to listen to the criticism. Heaven knows George Lucas didn't for the prequels. At the very least, they shouldn't be trying to demonize and completely misrepresent what people are criticizing it, like what they're criticizing. If you're going to introduce your own personal politics into a story and it hurts the story, people are going to address that. And if your story just isn't good, people will address it. You shouldn't be calling them sexist or racist or any of this other nonsense just because they didn't like something that you created, or they don't like how you're shoving your personal beliefs into a simple story. I'm not, for fuck's sake, I'm not looking for this giant epic, groundbreaking story that is like the next, shit. Ugh. Trying to think of like a earth-shaking book. I'm not looking for the fucking Grapes of Wrath in Star Wars. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for an entertaining story at the end of the day. But I'm not quite getting that. However, when I'm explaining why I don't like something, I'm getting these accusations thrown at me, as are so many other people. And it's completely ruining the fan base and the environment that people are interacting in.
Prior, I would have just said that they're your average internet dumbasses, but there's an alarming number of them now.
We live in an age where everyone's just trying to appease everyone.
Yeah.
Nobody writes a story anymore or a character and stands by it. It's always
fans do.
I mean,
but
well,
yeah.
Caitlin, my girlfriend, and I were talking about this because she was talking about the Mass Effect fandom, and I was like, "Oh, is Femme Shepherd canon or is Male Shepherd canon?"
Femme Shepherd.
And she basically told me they try to avoid that because they just don't want to piss anybody off,
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they haven't made a movie. And she was telling me about how certain characters, their persuasions in the first few games, their orientations were changed for later games because people complained that you couldn't have them as a romance option. And it's like, and I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, why write a character and not stand by what you write for that character? Why let the fans...
Hello?
Did you
Guys?
die, Delta?
Oh, shit.
Well.
Shit.
Wait, Som, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, write Delta a message.
Yep.
So I'm gonna, real quick, finish up the point. I dislike the direction it's going in terms of story. I'm not enjoying it. But what's making me essentially hate...
Disney got him.
Oh, God! He's been sniped! But the thing that I absolutely hate is this attitude that's being had towards the audience that disagrees or doesn't like current Star Wars. People shat on the prequels left and right, and deservedly so. Stab me.
Delta, do you read us? Over.
I just realized I was talking to myself for a little bit.
Real quick. Just, when the prequels came out, people shat on them, people debated, people fought. But the creators didn't actively go out of their way to demonize those who were criticizing it. That's what's happening now.
Chuck Wendig.
That's what's pissing me off. And that is the one thing I would change.
Yeah, George Lucas didn't give a shit. He's like, you don't like my movies? Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not saying, like, they should... Okay. Creators defending their projects and their art is one thing. But demonizing those who dislike it is a whole fucking other. That's what we're seeing. I mean, that's what I hate.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even a creator of something I very much enjoy, the Republic Commando book series, Karen Travis, the author, called everyone who didn't like them compared them to the Taliban, and I'm like, okay then. It's it's just a well, okay. This was actually quite a while ago, but it's not it's not a recent phenomenon, but it's becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's very true, Darth Revan. The prequels hate didn't start right off the bat. That's why nobody overreacted like we do now. And I feel like, because it was kind of the same with Force Awakens. Everybody thought it was the most amazing movie, and if you didn't like it, you were, just some square.
yeah,
And
but then
now
people sat
look
back and they thought
on
about it.
It's like, this is basically A New Hope.
Yeah.
You know?
And the glaring problems, like, the prequel hate didn't start up proper until I think Attack of the Clones, where you had the shit romance, and the over-reliance on CG became very prevalent. The problems with the prequels were more or less solidified with the second one. And that's what we see with the sequels. People enjoyed The Force Awakens, and I know I did at first, and then I rewatched it a second time,
Yes.
and I was a hell of a lot more bored. And then a third time, I'm like, each time I watched it, the worse it got. It didn't hold up. My excitement and hype died off. I suspect the same holds true for a lot of Star Wars fans when Episode 1 came out. They sat back, they thought about it, and they realized, okay, there's something wrong. The main difference, however, is, in my opinion, there was less of a time gap in between, like, in a real world time gap between 7 and 8. They were released, like, 2 years apart from each other. Where episode 1 and 2, I believe, was like 4?
3.
3? Yeah. So you have that immediate backlash, like, people are aware of the issues, and people are responding now. It's a mess.
Yep.
Okay, real quick, I posted a comment I just want to read. Hype is real. Okay, so I'm just saying this right off the bat. Gundam NT is the newest Gundam series that's been announced in the UC, not the third season of Gundam 00, but it takes place immediately after Gundam Unicorn, and like the Unicorn and Banshee, they're gone, but the third RX unit has been found, the Phoenix, which is a red suit, by the way. And some of the, like, last remaining sleeves are still being an issue and a problem. And basically, it's Sunrise's newest attempt to push forward into later, like, mid to later UC. So I'm hyped. I'm excited. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to. It's probably fucking Greek
Hey,
to you too.
all good. It's your channel.
Gah!
But but yeah. Let's see. Let's see the comments. What the
It's all Gundam now.
oh gun.
Oh my god, you're
The
right.
seed has been planted.
Oh, it's bad that there's a Gundam seed. Gundam seed is a thing. Don't go there.
Let's see. The Jedi Acolyte 22 says the prequel hate started in a majority capacity in 2008-09 with the Plinkett stuff, and then the bandwagon hate started.
It was before that.
I'm
Everyone was
too
able.
young to really remember. Like I was 8 when Revenge of the Sith came out, so I can't really give any personal experience to that. But I've seen some threads on the internet from around about that time, and they seem. I don't know if they were a majority then, but there were definitely a vocal group talking about their dislike of the prequels. So I
Here's
don't
the
know.
thing. I think the Plinkett reviews allowed people to properly articulate why they didn't like, because it is hard to figure out why something is bad. Like, if you think something is bad but you can't quite
Oh
put it to
God. Okay,
words,
hold on. Co-ops man. Yes, I did make it. I will post it for you. Go on. Uh,
yeah. But what I'm of the mindset that the Plinkett reviews, which are
what have
pretty,
I
like,
done?
here's the thing. I may not agree with everything said in them, but they are fascinating and they're basically like film lectures. If you want to learn how like some simple and basics with film study, it's not a bad place to start. I as a kid, I enjoyed the prequels, and then as I got older, I there were issues that I had with them, but I wasn't able to properly articulate what they were. And then I watched those reviews, I stumbled on them, and I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, that makes sense. How do I put this? I enjoy the prequels, but they are fundamentally flawed. As films go, there's quite a bit wrong with them. They're still entertaining. They don't insult the viewer like The Last Jedi does. But when you look at the acting, the boring camera work, the over reliance on CG, it pushed forward quite a bit in the realms of film. Like, for all intents and purposes, Jar Jar Binks helped pave the way for Gollum in terms of effects. It did a lot, but the effects became, or the story became secondary to the effects, and there were a lot of things that took hits.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Boofire. Filming for uh, Lord of the Rings and as well as Episode One started around the same time in late 1990s.
No, what I'm saying is the full on mocap, uh, like character work, more so than anything.
Jar Jar isn't mocap, is he?
For all intents and
They have
purposes.
Ahmed Best in they had him they had like a hat on him to make Jar Jar. I'll find a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jar Jar was mocap. I knew Gollum was, and that basically made Andy Serkis's career in the mocap.
Oh my God! Hold on. This is just put this on screen.
Uh, Click.
Now, this is why Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor deserve an Academy Award
That's
for
yeah.
not laughing the entire fucking time.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying it's a good effect or a good character, but it helped pave the way to better aspects and better uses of it in film.
Oh
Holy
yes,
fuck, is this bad? Honestly, I feel like the guy for Jar Jar needs an Academy Award for
Ahmed Best. Yeah.
fucking going through that. Uh, okay. Someone asked if I watched Darling in the Franxx. Yes, that show is way so much better than it really should be. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna jump into the waifu wars for that fucking show though. Holy shit. Uh, yeah, that's good. Uh, do I subscribe to the Darth Jar Jar theory? No, but I love it.
Now, Boofire.
Yes.
Hold up. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Jar Jar the Wise? I thought not. It's an internet legend. I did.
I'm trying to find ways to mute you. Um, yeah, Zero Two was best grill. But what if I said Ichigo did nothing wrong? All right, I apologize.
The
Yeah,
thing
we
about
have
the
this
Darth Jar
is
Jar theory is Robot Chicken basically did that before anybody on the internet
Yeah.
said anything
it's
about it.
true. Okay, you manipulated me, sir.
Honestly, that's
Okay.
probably where it came from.
Most likely.
That is. Once you mention it, hmm.
It was on one of the Star Wars specials they did. I think it was the second
Yeah,
one.
I believe so. Yes.
Hey, so you know what? I'm gonna do this because you guys are here. Um,
What up?
I'm just gonna say this to chat. So, Psalm Raptor knows deeply and extensively what I'm working on, but I'm gonna give a little glimpse into the future of what I've been working on. Um,
Oh.
we're gonna get a bit more context to Snoke, so stay tuned. I'll get there eventually.
Ooh.
5 porgs standing on top of each other in a big trench coat.
Dude, spoiler.
What if I said Asuka is best? Screw the bootleg 02. Here's the thing, Ultron. Asuka and 02 are nothing alike.
There are no strings on me.
Ah.
Oh, Ultron. I heard Ultron. Okay.
Who's
Never
worse
mind.
on Twitter, Hidalgo or Wendig? I don't know.
Wendig. Hidalgo's gotten bad, but oh my god, is Wendig just.
Hidalgo's only a dick to Legends fans. Wendig's a dick to everyone.
Oh, I find that more respectable. Deep down. Like, out of context.
So,
Ah.
did any of you guys see the latest Oral Knots Star Wars dub?
The last laser master.
Yeah, Chuck Wendig plays Nien Nub.
He does, which was
Yeah.
interesting.
And I was like, the fuck?
Okay, real quick. What do you think about the rumors of Lando being bisexual? Honestly,
I don't
see
mind it.
I completely see it. Like,
He's a total ladies' man. What the fuck are you talking
uh,
about?
I just,
No,
I think I just
bi,
like the
not
idea.
not
Nah,
gay.
I think
Bi.
I just
Don't
like
mind.
the idea of Lando. He's so goddamn charming. He could and would seduce anyone. I think that's why I'm fine with it. Like, he likes women, but by God, if he has to, he'll seduce the shit out of a man. That's what I like to imagine.
I don't mind it, but I prefer they keep
Yeah.
like
He's a total playboy. That's just gonna contradict just everything we know about him just from Empire Strikes Back.
no
That's
not
true.
not no if they made him gay that would
Oh.
not that would be disregarding that would that would be
Actually,
wrong, but
ooh,
bi I don't mind.
I don't know. That would put a few Star Wars Rebel scenes into question. That'd be some bad touch areas. Eh.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, I take that back. I like the idea that he can seduce anyone if he wanted to, but yeah, ladies man. Shit.
Yeah.
No,
I really
he's a
have-
total ladies' man.
Would I collab with world-class bullshitters in the future? I don't know how to collab with people. As I,
I mean,
say,
you're
doing a
technically
podcast. Like, here's the thing.
well, you
Some-
did with Scoundrels
Yeah,
on
but
that
here's yeah,
Feral.
but they reached out to me. And I reached out to Anti-Trekker when he was a really small channel, and Anti-Trekker is friends with and, like, lives next to Lore Reloaded. And you, Psalm Raptor, brought myself and Delta on board to do this. Like, all this shit I don't know how to do. Ugh.
I met Psalm Raptor through his memes.
Yeah, it's true. Although we technically even conversed before we even like knew each other on
Going back to old YouTube comments.
yeah, and even on like yeah, that was pretty hilarious finding that out. But like years and years ago, those
Before I was
But,
trying to do my Mandalore thing.
No, but
yeah.
Solar Dragon, collab with Dishonored Wolf and Mauler. I don't know what I would do, but fuck, that would be great. Like, I watch Dishonored Wolf quite often, and Mahler's videos are pretty rad. Here's the thing. I don't know how. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to be a pest by sending private messages or an email. I don't have Twitter, because that's a whole fucking world I don't want to be a part of. But, I don't know, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I reached out to you when I had 0 subs, so it can't hurt, right?
No,
I
and
mean,
here's the thing. This is at a time when I had very, very few. And I'm like,
Worst
that's
they can-
true. That is
people
true.
are talking to me. Hooray!
Worst they could say is no. They're not going to be like, no, you insignificant little sniveling worm.
No.
I would never collab with you.
Delta, you don't understand. The worst they could do is say absolutely nothing, leaving me in doubt. Like, because I've tried to do this before, and I've gotten silence all the time. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, did I do something wrong? Oh, like that's the thing. I don't want to be an inconvenience or a pest to people. That's the thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It won't be long until the army of Disney tracks us here. I'm sending you Vimeo on the internet. Is a deserted site. You'll be safe there.
Thank you, Albedo. We are
Until
forever in
the
your
army
debt.
of Disney tracks us here.
Ah, God.
I am sending you to the Mustafar system.
System. You'll be safe there. Dun 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 dun.
Safe.
dun.
Chancellor Palpatine managed to escape your grip, General. I don't doubt your ability to keep us safe.
Oh God, what did you say after that?
I used to have that whole movie memorized. I love
Likewise.
Ultron brings up a decent point.
Okay.
Just the new content. Just basically stop basing canon off of EU stuff. If you wanted to
Do something original. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason why they did. That's the whole reason
Yep.
why they decanonized it. Do something fucking original.
Yep, I agree.
Solar
That's-
Dragon 007. Yeah, I think you know our answers to that.
TCW or Multimedia Project Clone Wars.
We got to go with the original. I mean, I like TCW on certain levels. On a visual level, it's fucking, especially later seasons, it's fucking astounding. On, it frustrates me when I see all the contradictions it had to prior canon, which Delta and I have differing opinions on who's to blame for that, George or Filoni. But
I actually have some evidence to prove that Filoni went behind George's back at some point. In some different. In some,
okay.
I was watching.
Please share
Well,
that with me when we're. I mean, well, or you can
Do it now. No.
I'm putting it in my why TCW doesn't fit in Legends Part 2, which I will eventually get around to finishing. But
Oh, okay.
so
Absolute heresy.
heresy.
Hold up. Whoa. Did somebody say heresy?
Yes.
Exterminatus.
Oh, this gets me harder than Terminator armor. God, I love that fucking show.
But basically, in season 5, one of the featurettes I was watching, he was basically saying how it wasn't really this particular incident wasn't a story thing, but he purposely cut the episode a different way for when he showed it to George Lucas, and then he did his own treatments after he approved of it. So he took some cinematic liberties that George didn't want, and it's also been pretty much proven by Filoni himself that To quote him, George has always been in the Ahsoka dies camp, and I have always been in the Ahsoka lives camp. And I think very strongly George Lucas wanted Ahsoka dead, and I don't think Dave really complied with that.
Okay.
Okay, that's one thing where I could definitely understand them. If that was the only thing, I don't think I would. First off, I would need
I
to take a look at it. Like, I can
I
get both
cannot
sides.
say whether or whether or not it was the only thing, but it makes you wonder if it was the only thing.
Fair enough. What we
Yeah.
can agree on is that the 2002 onwards Clone Wars multimedia project was the best.
That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah,
I
out
just
of all Star Wars media, I think
I
that's
just
my
think
favorite.
it has more
Okay,
substance.
real quick. Oh,
Oh,
continue.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
you continue. My bad.
I was gonna say I just think it has more substance in terms of the EU, not just the show, but the comics and tie-in novels, the entire Clone Wars multimedia project. I just think for, when I watched the 2008 Clone Wars, I sit there and I see a spitting match between the CIS and the Republic, even though the Republic's winning every single battle.
Yeah.
And then when I
yeah,
watch the
that
Clone
that
Wars
weirded me out.
multimedia project, I see pushes and pulls. I see the CIS beating the Republic, like ripping the Republic's arms off and trying to beat it to near death with it. Fucking carving all the way into the core worlds as General Grievous basically massacres entire populations. And then Palpatine
Hungarian.
releases his secret clone army that he's been building on Centex 2, and then pushes the CIS out into the Outer Rim,
Yeah,
thus beginning the
Operation
Outer Rim
Dirge's Lance
sieges.
and Outer Rim Sieges
I just thought
were
it was
one of my
just
favorite
it made it feel like I was
series.
watching a History Channel documentary with all these pushes and pulls between like the Confederacy and the what do you call it, the Grand
Yeah.
Army of the Republic in the American Civil War.
Um.
So
Yeah.
Right, aren't they both called the Grand Army of the Republic?
yes, the Northern American states during the Civil War was literally called the Grand Army of the Republic. And I'm launching a new series on my YouTube channel called Legends in History, where I'll be going into that
Oh.
is one episode. My first episode, I'm doing a comparison between real life warrior cultures and the Mandalorians. But
Nice.
this one episode I plan is to do comparisons between the American Civil War and the Clone Wars. But
I,
Uh.
I'm actually pretty hyped for that. I really want to see that.
I
I'm
have scripts written, but nothing recorded. That's why I asked you the other day if Karen Travis based Mandoa in anything in any existing historical languages.
right. The language itself. The well, I don't think. Well, we already talked about that. But it's funny you mentioned that. The one thing that always kind of bugged me was how solos, the Mandawa word for one and alone, clearly comes from solo from Spanish. But when you think about it, there Mandoa and the Mandalorians in general are all about assimilation of taking. Well, I mean they keep their cultural things, but assimilate different things. There are already real life languages existing within Star Wars. English, of course, is basic. Nilvanian is Hungarian.
I told you that.
Yeah,
You
you
didn't
did.
realize.
You did. Hatiz is based on Quechua. I believe Sulistan is either Haya, Kikuyu, or Kalenjin. It's from an East African language. It's either in Kenya or Tanzania. So yeah, basically there are real life languages in Star Wars. Why couldn't Spanish be among them? And in TCW, the Zagarians are clearly influenced by Spain. You know, at one point having had a slaving empire, their accents are Spanish. So, and their world is arid. So,
Okay.
that's my hypothesis.
So-
Yeah, that's my headcanon.
So-
Solus comes from solo.
All right. Now I have a question. what the fuck happened to Ahsoka in Rebels? Let
Okay,
like
audience, if you don't want spoilers, leave or whatever.
come back in like 11 minutes, maybe? No, 5 minutes. Fuck it.
Yeah, okay. Um, the she's now she's now Gandalf, I guess. She,
Here, let me
the
hold on here. I gotta grab a few things. Ahsoka's now Gandalf. What? Okay,
no,
continue.
okay. There's okay, on paper this sounds absolutely retarded, but okay. There's this world between worlds as they call it. And it's basically time travel. It sounds retarded on paper, but I actually wasn't phased by it. I kind of liked it actually. If you watch you may have a completely different opinion. Because I've heard other people say, "What the hell? This is absolutely retarded." But I don't know. I liked it. We'll
Okay,
see.
so I understand that. What happened to her?
Okay. Season 2, last episode. Remember, she's fighting Vader.
Yep,
The door closes. Ezra
correct.
can't go back for her. Basically, the world between worlds portal thing. He was able to. Ezra is in there, grabs her, pulls her out of it before the temple collapses, and she's brought 2 years into the future, I guess, or three, no, two.
Is there a
But,
reason why he does this?
uh, well, it's been a while since I've seen the episode. Well, like 2 months, but it was like, well, it's um. He was well. I mean, he was in there, and he was like, "Wait, what? How I can reach through this door? What the fuck?" And then, yeah,
Okay.
space magic. But the whole thing is, I don't really mind it. The Force. I like the kind of part of the direction they're going in the new canon with the Force, making it even more mysterious. It's well, just watch the episode.
Okay. So in all right, there's always been to an extent time travel in Star Wars, but when I heard and the way it's being explained, this idea that it's a physical place that you can enter and you can actively interrupt time, like pulling someone from their death. Um, I
Well, it's implied that you can't actually change the outcomes. It's because the idea is that she never died in the first place because you never see it. And then another time he considers doing that to save
oh,
Kanan, and then you see that the Emperor was. You'll see. You'll
okay,
see when you
so
watch
it's
it.
like Harry Potter. Like time travel doesn't necessarily exist. It's like it's all whatever has happened has already happened. It okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Harry Potter, like they did change because, like, Buckbeak did die in the original timeline. Then they used the time turner, turn that. But I mean,
Yeah, that's not what I'm getting at, but yeah.
uh,
Okay. So like in Legends, I recall and this
yes,
is
there
some
was time travel.
squawk.
There was issues with relativistic shielding on hyperdrives, which makes people go several. There have been several cases of people going into the future. I think that's the whole idea behind the book Crosscurrent. It's like I believe it's Jade and Core versus a bunch of Sith from the Golden Age, like Naga Sadao. But not Naga Sadao himself, but people from that era.
Because what I was getting at was, I know one of the like most prominent examples of time travel is flow walking, where
Ah, right.
flow walking is basically the ability to cough, peer back in time. I mean,
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm coughing. Flow walking allows people to peer back in time with enough meditation, focus, and practice. However, you can't change it, at least
Right, you're just an
theoretically.
observer.
I
However,
don't
it's
see anything
said
wrong
it's
with
no,
that.
no.
I don't
However,
mind.
flow walking, it's basically the theoretical of you can make alterations to the past in very subtle ways if you're strong enough. The idea being that the stronger and much more practice you get with flow walking, the more it basically allows you to do what happened, from what it sounds like, in that Star Wars Rebels episode, but doing it your own way. Like, you yourself are doing it, as opposed to going to a portal. However, people who linger too long flow walking have basically the risk of getting lost in like the walk, I guess, for lack of a better term, and it becomes a whole Inception style purgatory limbo nonsense. Um, yeah, flow walking is cool.
Yeah, it's an
Which
interesting concept. I liked in I believe it was in Bloodline or I forget which is the one with Boba Fett on the cover.
Oh,
I believe
Blood Ties.
Jason. Blood Ties or
Let me look on my shelf.
wait, no, you know what? Let me turn around. Look at my. One second.
But yeah,
All right.
so allow people to change their perception, not the past itself.
Yep, Legacy
What
of
I'm
the Force
Yeah,
Bloodlines.
what I'm getting
Oh,
at
okay.
is well, what I'm
He
getting at.
goes back and sees the Operation Nightfall. He sees the 501st and Anakin enter the Jedi Temple and start slaughtering the Jedi.
What I'm getting at is theoretically with flow walking, because it changes perception, not actual time. Given enough time, theoretically, one could change the past itself. I think it's
Okay.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other case of time travel is from the old Marvel Star Wars comics, where there's these three spirits that are basically gods and send three stormtroopers back a million years in the past, and
Hey,
it's like,
wait a minute.
okay.
Hey, wait a minute. Are those the son, the daughter, and the uh
No.
uh
I mean,
uh
I believe they were called the Bedlam spirits. Bedlam is a synonym for chaos. Is it heresy?
fuck.
It's definitely
That's
heresy.
definitely like if you have to question whether or not something's heretical, it's heretical.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Actually, let me go to the Wook.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Bedlam
So,
spirits.
chat,
Yeah, this is weird.
chat, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, chat. Go ahead. Um, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot of. It was written by Alan Moore. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
That
oh,
was
that's all you
weird.
had to say.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Question. Cross current, basically what happened was some random Sith entered hyperspace and their hyperdrive was broken, so it launched them 5,000 years in. Yeah, because it's what's apparently called relativistic shielding was
So
disabled.
Diana Barnett, I kind of agree. My enthusiasm for Star Wars is pretty fucking strangled.
We
Uh,
feel, yeah.
Tactical droid, do you agree that Dooku did nothing wrong? You want to know something? I really, really wish Dooku wasn't a Sith.
Dooku is an interesting character. Well, I mean, or was, and I mean, because he's portrayed rather inconsistently.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Delta. Um, sometimes he's a cackling evil blah blah blah, but he's implied to be more. Shit. Hold on, let me mess it. You, John. Yep, Delta.
Misa back.
Misa.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm running on some pretty shitty internet because I just moved into a new place, and it's included in the rent, and I can't really afford my own right now, so just something I have to deal with.
No, but
Don't worry about it, man.
I really think Dooku shouldn't have been a Sith. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think that could have been better.
Because there was always implication that he was like he did truly believe in the separatist cause, and he was like there was always implication that he wasn't truly Sith per se, but then there's also times where he's as I said, was cackling evil, torturing, whatever.
All right, I got it now. I know who Dooku should have been.
I think that's another reason why I like the multimedia project, because it doesn't portray Dooku as,
for the most part,
the evil. For the most part, yeah. There are some times where, he's like, he's pretty evil, but he has different motives, and the whole premise of the CIS is a valid one too, because the Republic was this crumbling, decrepit bureaucracy.
Oh yeah, no, the CIS in theory was hashtag the CIS did nothing wrong. But,
yeah,
they were the proto-rebellion.
Actually, when you think about it,
they really
who was. I guess technically, who was the aggressor? I guess technically the Republic was the aggressor during the Clone Wars, even though they were attempting to execute. But they were an unrecognized state by the Republic. But at the same time, they were violating their sovereignty. But at the same time, it's complicated. See, this is that's the thing. When people complain about, politics in the prequels, whatever, I don't know. When I think about it, that seems interesting to me.
Diana Barrett said it pretty well in the comments. The CIS was noble cause manipulated by evil men.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Diana.
That's it perfectly.
See, that would be... God. The CIS is the proto-rebellion, and...
Yeah.
corporate interest and an evil jackass fucked him over.
Right.
The CIS is basically Xeon. No, that's about right, honestly. Except Xeon did have basically Space Hitler openly. That's the difference. What's a Xeon? That's for the future.
Iron Wolf. Boo has stated that Earth in Star Wars is over, man.
Yeah.
But they had every. Ultron says they had every right to execute them. Obi-Wan invaded CIS territory, and Anakin and Padme didn't help at all. Plus, they killed a CIS member, Geonosians, who only protected their factory. That's. Actually, when you put it
Obi-Wan was committing open espionage against the CIS.
And for all intents and purposes, so was Anakin and Padme. They're being executed as spies. They started the war. Now, the assassination attempts on Padme,
okay, that's valid enough, but
here's the thing. There's no proof.
There's no proof that Django worked with the CIS.
To the public.
To the public, other than the fact he was at the Geonosian arena beside Dooku.
Yeah. It's, But then again, the Republic didn't consider the CIS to be an actual state,
What people forget is the CIS existed a full,
2 years.
I think it was 2 or 4 years before the Clone Wars actually broke out.
Right. Yeah, because
the whole mission to Ancion, it was on Roxas Prime.
Yeah.
That Dooku started the CIS.
Yeah. Huh. Hashtag the CIS did nothing wrong.
And oh man, seriously, what's a war crime in Star Wars? That's a fucking fair point. Oh wait, surely. Okay.
Yeah, why? Is
Yeah.
there
Okay.
like a Yavin treaty or whatever?
Real
Is
quick
there a
aside. Yeah. Breaking down the Last Jedi, the Resistance committed a fuck ton of war crimes. Like, you break that down. The only reason, and the same thing actually holds true for the Rebellion. The only reason, like Han, Leia, and Luke aren't in fucking cells or have been executed for war crimes is because they won. They did a lot of fucked up things that we kind of play off because, oh, the Empire was so much worse. Look. Look. Two wrongs don't make a right. Like, surely, taking a starship, throwing that motherfucker into hyperspace, destroying an entire fleet in a suicide attack, surely, that's a fucking war crime. Surely, breaking into someone's ship, stealing their uniforms, and parading around as their personnel is a war crime.
that is a war crime in our world, but
Yes.
I'm not sure if it is in, but yeah,
Ah.
because but let's see, TCW had obnoxious war crime, making people the Neimoidians who wanted to kill the entire village of rando aliens, Blue Shadow virus. Granted,
Oh,
the
even the
multimedia project
even
had
the
the
Clone
Naboo's
Wars
moon. Yeah,
the
Omadun.
multimedia project had even more than that. If you watch my General Grievous video, he basically destroyed Brain and he bombarded it until it was
Yeah,
nothing but
that
slag.
was
And then he released this brain-eating virus in some
the
in some
Kandorian plague, which
Yes.
during the new Sith Wars had apparently reduced the entire galaxy's population by like 60% or something.
There was a reason why the galaxy was afraid of General Grievous, and that just wasn't explored in TCW, which I thought was a tragedy.
Or Revenge of the Sith.
Or Revenge of the Sith. Well, a little bit in the Revenge of the Sith novel, which we all know is
Well,
about
in the,
canceled.
no, don't get me wrong. The Revenge of the Sith novel was absolutely amazing, but Grievous's portrayal in ROTS and TCW compared to CW and Labyrinth of Evil and whatnot. That's yeah, not quite as good.
The Republic was framed for a war crime. I forget which. The Basadro Massacre. That's what it was. That's in my Clone Wars video.
Oh, Jedi Acolyte 22 pointed out, not to mention the Republic caused the CIS to crash on Honager, which
Yes!
released
The Cantina.
yeah.
And they did nothing to do. They did no cleanup efforts.
Yeah. God
Nothing.
damn it, Ayla. You just left.
Yeah, her and Bly just left, and I had a picture. I had a clip from the comics. I'm not gonna find it right now, but it was afterward, and Bly was asking, "Oh, should we do anything about the Nogri?" And Halo's basically just like, "Nah, brah, they'll be fine."
uh, well, if you think about it, if they hadn't, then Rook would never have been able to kill Thrawn. But yeah, that's timelines.
Ah.
But
Nogri did get screwed.
they got fucked.
They got the short end of the stick in the galaxy. Them and the Ka'amasi.
Yeah, poor Nogri. Like, jeez.
Again,
Let's see.
yeah, both sides of the war did crimes. Even the rebellion in old canon. You don't think the Death Star was like some travesty? Do you know how many
The Death
billions
Star
of
had
enlisted
civilians
men?
on it.
You think, like, this is one thing that I do find interesting, because I've only seen, like, maybe
Legends.
one occurrence of it. Luke having absolutely no guilt over destroying the Death Star. Now, Here's the thing. I understand that it was a massive super weapon, and if he didn't destroy it, it would have destroyed Yavin and, the rebellion, as well as someone that he kind of liked, that being Leia, yada yada. I understand that. However, being a force sensitive, being someone who can sense others' emotions, to suddenly have millions of people die instantaneously would be traumatic. It would be devastating for someone with just a slight connection to the Force. Mitra Surik killed a few, like, tens of to a few 100,000 at the Battle of Malachor 5. It fucked her up. Luke, on the other hand, walked out unscathed, which makes me think he's a bit of a psychopath.
Even just in the films, when Alderaan was destroyed, Ben was like, holy fuck, shit's going down.
Yeah.
And in Order 66, when Yoda's basically having a heart attack.
Yeah.
True. Huh.
Like, that's the thing, is his connection isn't fully fleshed out, but he has enough there to, predict blaster fire with, the Falcon stuff. He has enough of a connection to understand the basics. Being the cause and being right next to millions of deaths. That should have fucked him up.
Huh. Yeah, that's an interesting
Yeah,
point.
exactly, Matthew Cole. Where's the new type ghost freak out? Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It's not exactly a plot hole. It's a more of a. It's more
It's
of
just
a.
it's just like the Force later developed over time.
Yeah.
Like Ben was able to take the millions of people dying pretty well on the chin.
Yeah,
Is-
comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a master with a great connection. I don't know.
Right.
That's the only thing I could chop it up to is the very first film, very first piece.
Yeah, he
Then-
was in the middle of a fight. It was kill or be
Here's-
killed.
here's the thing,
That's
though.
true.
What I find more shocking though is Legends material.
Iron Wolf. Mm-hmm.
Is Legends material. He doesn't think about it afterward. He doesn't have any guilt or regret, or he doesn't, like, it never comes up. Now, I can understand not feeling it in the moment, but not at least thinking about it afterward. Like, a few years removed. Like, maybe when he's training the newest generation of Jedi, he thinks back and goes, I started my journey by killing millions of people. Just as, like, some sort of self-reflection. And I'm surprised that's never come up.
That's funny because at the end of Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor, a great book, by the way. Yeah, he has extreme guilt over something that wasn't even lots of people dying that wasn't even entirely his fault, and it causes his resignation from the New Republic military. But it's it's funny that he doesn't think that way about the Death Star. Because maybe he doesn't know that there were civilians on there, and if he did ever see it, other people might have told him, no, that's just propaganda by the Empire, but who knows?
Yeah. What I'm getting at is I'm just surprised Luke never felt something, like, in the Force immediately afterward. But what I'm even more shocked by is, again, the lack of self-reflection afterward. I just find it surprising is all.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that people don't necessarily
Think about.
thought of exploring. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's an out-of-universe problem as opposed to an in-universe one, which I have no problem with. It's just something that's fun to think about.
Yeah.
I started my journey by killing millions of people. Good times. Good times.
For some reason, I just pictured him talking as a Force ghost to Cade Skywalker about that.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Death Sticks doesn't seem so bad.
You don't want to sell me Death Sticks.
I don't wanna
I
sell
don't
you
want to sell you.
Oh, I forget who he's played by.
Oh, holy shit. Martin D. Peterson. Hi, Boo. Just wanted to drop a humble donation, $33. Thank you, my
Holy
man,
shit.
for the work that you do. I really appreciate your take on the universe we all know and love. Stay true to your principles while on the complicated road ahead. I thank you quite a bit, Martin. Seriously, I appreciate it. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. I don't know what to do after that.
Nice.
Uh, I sometimes
Damn.
forget about this shit that I have super chat on.
Wow.
Whoa, thanks a ton. Darth Revan, I've seen you ask this a few times. Haven't watched Ghost in the Shell. Haven't watched Netflix Death Note. Haven't watched that last one. I thought Attack on Titan season 2 was rad. It was short
Don't
though.
spoil anything. I'm not finished with it.
I'm not.
Here now. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
one thing I do want to share because I really do find it hilarious. So I've played 40 hours of the Attack on Titan 2 video game, and I like the. I'm not gonna like spoil it, but I like the ending in concept. Like out of context, watching the final cutscenes, I'm like, fuck, that's really cool. In context, it does not work. You'll understand when you play the last mission. What I do find hilarious is slight spoilers for season 1 of Attack on Titan. But what I find absolutely hilarious is one of the key components in that game is the friendship meter. Like by going on missions, giving gifts, and interacting with other characters, your friendship with them grows. And I love how in the game it's low key hinted that your character and Annie have a thing, or at the very least can develop a thing.
Oh.
And then, and then she, turns out to be, it
Yeah.
makes it hilarious. Like the one person where it's a maybe, and you get cucked because of plot. I love that shit. Uh,
That's actually pretty hilarious, I gotta say.
uh,
2
I-
billion? That's not the population of the Death Star. It's the
I think
the,
that's the population of Alderaan.
oh.
He had to stop the Death Star, which killed 2 billion people. That's in reference over 2 billion people.
we have 91 people watching.
Oh wow. Hi 92 people. Hold on. The crew of the Death Star is. Wait, what? What? Where is it? Hold on. Crew. Okay. Wait. Okay. 342,000 full-time crew members and 843,000 passengers and plus 25,000 stormtroopers plus wait. Can you give us the full crew? Hold on. Death
Oh god, Solar
Star.
Dragon, that's bad. Oh.
population.
What if Luke and Leia unknowingly fucked between Empire and Jedi? I'm gonna say this right now.
Oh no.
That'd be a bit awkward. It would make the last
Oh fuck it, whatever.
it would make their final interaction in The Last Jedi really entertaining.
Oof. Yeah, no, Jedi Acolyte, I was looking at the Legends tab, of course, but yeah, no, it's ballpark of 1.5 million. But
It seems about right for a moon-sized space station.
small moon. Yeah,
Small moon, yeah.
because
Moon
it's about
toy.
like a third the size of our moon, unless I am mistaken.
So almost the size of Pluto.
Yeah, about that size.
Oh, somehow I've always known.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's the day she realized. As she's getting pegged in the pooper. God.
Oh no 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 no.
Does the Death Star have a gift shop?
You have to think of prisoners too, in the detention cell. Leia wasn't the only one.
That is true.
You know what, Solar Dragoon? If that was the reason why, like, he finally had that repressed memory resurface right before attacking Ben, and he realized Ben could possibly be his child.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
oh,
Nope.
oh.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Honestly,
Nope. 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 Nope.
that
Nope.
would
Nope.
make-
Nope. 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 Nope.
That would make Luke running away and being completely demoralized. That would make so much more fucking sense. And I hate that. That is... You know what? I think that might just be a video.
No.
Yeah?
Stop.
Yeah?
Do not do it.
Yes?
No.
Yes?
No.
God, so... Oh, no!
God.
You sick fucks. I may have to do this.
Delete this. Delete this.
No.
DeWitt.
I refuse. Oh, way better Lactose The Last Jedi. I killed my father. No, Ben. I am your father.
What?
Oh.
Okay. That's it. Everybody, unsub. Bye.
That's...
Remember to, unlike, delete a comment, and unsubscribe.
Just don't go on the internet for a while after. Just take a break. Go outside.
You know
Do some
what?
yard work.
I think that's going to be the title of the video. What if
No.
Kylo Ren was Luke's son?
Nope.
It just,
Delete
it's
this.
it's just one big joke because at the end of the day, this makes more sense than what we got and is filled with more drama. Incest is better than The Last Jedi. It's so dumb. It's so dumb and I love it. Oh, well, there goes Tom Raptor tying a noose.
Yep. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna.
Ah.
Bye bye. It's I believe it is topic changing time.
Empire stuff. Yes, Empire stuff.
Empire. Yes. The
Oh, you
Empire.
want to talk about Empire? I'll tell you what happened after Empire Strikes Back.
No.
A plot twist worthy of George R. Martin. You are correct.
Well, you're not wrong.
Solar Dragon.
Anyway, yeah,
You-
let's go to the comments.
Magnificent bastard.
Why no Death Troopers for the First Order? Because they didn't want to make more suits. I don't know, because they weren't running out of money. Is it an afterthought? I don't fucking know. The Imperial Empire fight the bug.
Oh,
They all
Starship
died.
Starship Troopers. I don't know enough about like the books Starship Troopers. I've seen the movie, which isn't the best representation of what the books are getting at. It's the opposite.
Wait. The faction from Starship Troopers is called the Imperial Empire?
That was the I thought it was. I don't
Well,
know what it is.
according to Stuart Imperial, what? Isn't that kind of Isn't that kind of redundant? Yes, the Imperial Empire.
No, you don't understand. Like, your empire is so imperial. It's the Imperial Empire.
Okay, how about the Republican Republic and the Confederate Confederacy and
Of
the
Confederate system.
No, that's the thing. I thought it was called the Federation. Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's
Federal
what I thought it was.
No, it's the Federal Federation.
Ugh.
And the Rebellious Rebellion.
No, it's more.
Yeah.
It's more so like the United Federation. It's a bit redundant, but it works.
I mean, United Federation works, but
Yeah.
The Galactic Alliance of Free Planets sounds kind of contradictory when you think of it.
No. The
'Cause it's a
Galactic Federation of Free Alliances.
That's what it was.
I mean, I know that it's an in joke to, do the GFFA, Galaxy Far Far Away, but it's so.
I don't
How
see
are you
why.
a federation of free alliances? That's like okay.
So how does General Grievous get his rocks off? I think the
Uh,
simple answer is he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Killing and massacring, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Grievous. Legends Grievous is among my favorite characters. He's just so like you seeing his story, you almost can sympathize with the monster he's become. But yeah, Canon Grievous is a
I'm not gonna lie, Martin,
bitch.
that thought actually crossed my mind. Like,
Hmm?
uh,
Oh,
so,
the CIS is Brexit.
right. Only because, again, these are worlds leaving the Republic because they're dissatisfied, and the Republic is like, no. More or
Basically,
less
the
what's.
American Civil War. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then the North hid behind the anti-slavery
Yeah,
cause as
his.
sort of to justify
I
it.
guess the one thing is that the United States was full on, straight up, a country, where the Republic is weird. I don't know. I guess it's not quite the same, which is what held me from making that comparison in the first place, because the situation in Europe is more so, well, it's not a country, it's multiple countries working together, as
Yeah.
opposed to one country. Where I guess the Republic's government is so fucking strange that I don't quite. Like, it is a galactic entity, but also a lot of places have a lot more autonomy than. It's weird.
Right. It's
There
I
isn't
mean, we
equal
can't.
representation within the Republic is the issue that really started the war.
Yeah. Co- humanocentrism, core world's preference. I mean, although it's not an accurate representation of the demographics of the CIS and the Republic, there is a reason why during that why aliens were so oppressed during the Imperial era was a lot of it was resentment from the
The
Clone
Clone
Wars and
Wars.
this where which the Separatists were at least on the surface appear to be primarily alien.
To answer Stabber's question, they're more like the Confederacy that tried to separate from America because they lost. That's really the only difference between the American Civil War and the Revolution on its face. Like, the reasons for the war are different in the way it was fought, but, like, if we think back to it, if, let's say, the United States never won the Revolution, it would either be considered, like, the American insurrection or the whatever the fuck Civil War.
Now,
Ultimately,
see,
it's. Yeah.
see, I identify the Confederacy of Independent Systems more along the lines of the Confederate States of America from the Civil War because they seceded for very similar reasons. The Confederate States wanted more autonomy, and uh, the Northern states were, with Lincoln's administration, it was more big government, and the Confederacy wanted less government on a federal level, and
More on the state
more
level.
yeah, more autonomy on the state level, and that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the planets in the Star Wars universe seceded from the Republic, because with Palpatine's administration, it was more big federal government and less planetary autonomy,
Right.
and that's one of the main thing the CIS promised: the Confederacy of Independent Systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like Dark Fierce is saying, it was kind of a war for independence for the Confederacy side. But even so, the Civil War was basically, the American Civil War was also kind of a war for independence on the Confederate States side.
Right, and what I'm
So
getting at, yeah, and what I was getting at was if the Confederacy won, it wouldn't be viewed so much as the American Civil War. it'd be more viewed as the whatever the fuck War of Independence.
Mhm.
Like it. That's why like within the context of like that the historical context when you look more into it, yes, the Confederacy, like the United States,
Yeah, they're
that
not
makes more
all
sense.
perfect analogs,
They're not
but
perfect, but that one makes more sense as opposed to it. Yeah, yeah,
There's just striking similarities you can see between, these historical events and the events that were portrayed in the thing, in the films, you
yeah.
know? And another thing, what Andrew Singleton's saying about slavery, you have to remember the Republic, slavery was illegal within the Republic, as established in Episode 1 Phantom Menace. The CIS, I believe, was known to use slave labor at times.
I believe you are correct.
So that's
Uh,
that's an even further good comparison.
But here's the thing: was slavery illegal in the Republic?
it was.
Okay,
That's what
because it
Padme
was
said.
because it seemed pretty fucking rampant all across the galaxy.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
It was primarily Hut space, which was independent, Outer Rim, where it couldn't, the farther reaches of the Outer Rim, where it couldn't really be enforced the ban on slavery, and
Well, with the whole dismantling of the Republic military, the
yeah,
judicials
only
were
judicial forces.
spread pretty thin with that vast territory, and the Jedi isn't made up of infinite, in the Order. It's
Exactly, it's
there's around,
10,000 in a
10,000
galaxy of
yeah,
100 quadrillion.
you know.
I believe it's 100 quadrillion, the population, sapient population.
Can we agree that the Ruzon reformations were pretty fucking stupid?
Oh, yeah.
Not from like a story context, but like in universe decision.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, there's the. I believe the idea behind them was if that didn't happen, there could have been a lot of insurrection from within. But
And the way I interpret it was more so they did it in order to move away from the militaristic or the militarization of the Republic, the reformed more or less Republic, and the Jedi Order, because over the last 1,000 years, there's been nothing but war.
yeah,
Well, it
I
would
mean,
have been-
the new Sith Wars are one of my. I mean, that was our first episode.
The
but
basic reason for them abolishing the military was, oh, the Sith are gone. We have no more threats. We just need police forces. That's all we need.
Wouldn't it have been great if they got invaded by like some fucking species in the unknown regions?
So the Yuzon Vong come 40 years earlier.
Or maybe the Chiss, or just some, or like the CZ Ruvi, CZ Rook, whatever the fuck.
Zeruk.
Honestly, the Hutts were
Plural
probably
is Siruvi,
powerful enough
one is
to
Zeruk.
invade if they wanted to.
Yeah, but by that time they'd had already adopted the Khajidic philosophy, like not rule through force, rule through subterfuge and manipulation.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
or the
yeah.
Sorcerers of Rond, says Darth Revan.
Can we also agree? Okay, some Raptor more so. Can we also agree that the New Republic in canon is fucking retarded? Making the same
Very much
exact
so.
mistakes that led to Palpatine rising to power in the fucking first place? God.
Very much so.
I mean, the New Republic in Legends would take a look and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then scream internally as they're getting fucking attacked by the Yuzon Vong and are in constant war because of other threats, where everything went really well for this really stupid New Republic. God,
Yeah.
canon New Republic
It's-
is fucking retarded. They really did deserve to get blown to pieces. Any stupid motherfucker who decides to verbatim, basically, redo the laws that destroyed you in the first place without any sort of reformation, you're stupid. I'm sorry. There's no getting around it.
Yeah. Sharpshooter 36, the canon New Republic did finish off the Empire a year after Endor, which I still think is dumb. but
I did not know that. That seems like an extremely unrealistic time span.
It's
so
more,
you're telling me
yeah.
this massive galactic-wide fleet has been beaten within a year.
The rebellion didn't
Yep.
even have as
Okay.
good of equipment as the Empire did.
Yeah, the way that they word it is
Yeah.
essentially Palpatine had these droids, and he basically created a trap to destroy his own empire that the Republic sprang on. Which,
Yeah,
eh,
it's
look, here's the
like
thing.
I get the idea that yes, he because the whole idea is his belief that if the empire fails him, it fails its emperor, it doesn't deserve to exist. Okay, I get that, but it's still why would any of the Imperials enact carry that out?
Even in canon, Palpatine set up these governors who were basically mini kings. Why would they want to give up their territory? Like the
You mean
Moffs, you
in
know?
wait, you mean in Legends?
No, even in
It-
canon.
No, no, I mean yes, but I was talking about canon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Moffs are still there, like Grand Moff Tarkin, aren't they?
yeah, yes, yes.
So why would
They're
they
Dutch
just,
governor.
you know, why would they give up their territory so freely? Not saying that they did, but,
Yeah, it's
it seems like a bit of a plot hole.
It's not.
it's not really whole. It's more of a. It's I don't.
It's just
It's
dumb.
frustrating. It's dumb.
Hmm.
Let's see. Yes, Operation Cinder. That's what it's called. I don't. Why the hell would any Imperial carry that order? Whatever.
Wait, really? The New Republic never took back the inner core and the core, and the Imperial
What?
remnant is still on court. I swear to
What?
fucking God, if that's
To the Wook.
yeah,
Hold up. If this is real, if hold on. What?
yeah, Star Tracer. I'm just reeing real hard.
I looked up Imperial Remnant. There is no canon tab.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, okay. So it was this article about the Legends Empire that succeeded the Galactic. You may be looking for the various canon Imperial remnants. Oh, but these are all. Okay.
Core
Okay.
Worlds
Wait.
and Inner
She
Rim
said
Remnant.
Corus. I'm gonna go to Coruscant to see. Let's see.
Is it
Coruscant
Jack
affiliation. New Republic. Oh, okay. Well, I guess the New Republic did get Coruscant. So
We may need a
Gala-
link to that because
Philly cheesesteak. I know the Galactic Concordance, but those are basically the terms of surrender for the. Wait, the Republic requested remaining Imperial force to predetermined boundaries within the core and inner rim.
if you hold the core, the
I
deep core, and the inner rim, you still have control of the galaxy.
I
The sheer industrial power and resources at their disposal, the New Republic loses.
I what? Okay, let's leave it at that. What? Okay.
Huh.
Okay. Yep. Just what? Let's see comments.
Chaos Man, why did the New Republic switch their capital planet every election? It's more so a. How do I put this?
Yeah,
it's more
it's
so-
an interesting concept, I
Yes, it's so that one world doesn't have all the power and that all planets are equal within this New Republic. It's a concept I like and find interesting. But. Shit.
think. Yeah.
Are
let's
we
call-
sure that the entire new trilogy isn't incest babies?
No, stop.
Honestly,
Hold on 1 second.
I would fucking howl if that was the reveal. I would howl in the theater.
Oh, what the hell?
Solar Dragon. Why do you think Lucas wanted to replace the multimedia project? I don't think that was the intention initially. Because
Well,
if you look at the art from TCW, even just the costumes Anakin and Obi-Wan are wearing, they're basically the costumes they're wearing at the
in the
end of
T2003. Yeah.
season 3 of Clone Wars.
T-
And
yeah.
and originally, from what I've read, it was supposed to take place between a time gap between Anakin's knighting in Clone Wars and his mission to Nalva.
Oh, Matthew, do it.
Even though
Make
there were
the
phase
incest
1.
videos. Best
No! Delete
best,
this.
Best shit post. Fuck. Now you've got me.
Delete this immediately. Okay. Okay, we need the Imperium of... Okay, wait, Random Custodes. Okay, we need the Imperium of Man to just invade the canon Star Wars universe to fix things up. A single battle fleet... a single... probably Emperor-class battleship could take the entire canon universe. The canon Star Wars universe is so... Okay. Think about this for a second. Durasteel in new canon is weaker than titanium. Think about that for a second. The freaking UNSC from Star Wars, from Halo, which is relatively low on the grand scale of sci-fi factions, if you will, would not be successfully invaded by a canon Star Wars galaxy. It's just likewise, though the UNSC couldn't invade the canon Star Wars universe. Their FTL is just isn't capable of. They neither have the numbers nor the FTL to successfully occupy an entire galaxy. I mean, they don't. The entire their entire space is contained within the Orion arm of the Milky Way, but it's yes. More DACA. Yes, Stuart Imperial. More DACA.
Yeah. Yuzhan Vong, Mongols, in a way. Yeah.
Well,
I see similarities in the Mandalorians to the Mongols.
I mean, both. Like, Mongols in the sense of
The nomadicism.
anytime I'm playing CK2 and then suddenly the Mongols show up and fuck everything up, seems about right.
Well, supposedly some of the aspects of the Yuzhan Vong are based on Aztec traditions, sacrifice and for their gods.
Their caste system.
Caste system, yeah. But Andrew Singleton has a theory. The new canon was expressly made to make Star Wars so weak Star Trek's Federation could win in a fight. He says this as a Trek fan, and this displeases him.
Look, I'm not the biggest fan of doing fight comparisons to Star Trek and Star Wars because they are so fundamentally different and operate under different sets of logic. It makes it near impossible to clamp down what...
The whole...
Yeah.
I mean, this debate has been going on since the 70s, but I believe the general conclusion prior to new canon is Star Wars generally is much stronger, with the exception until you start taking into account beings like Q and
Here's
whatnot.
The thing. My only consensus is the tech in Star Trek is more advanced than Star Wars, but Star Wars has so much more ships and military power that they would win. I think Starfleet... I can't think of how big Starfleet is off the top of my head.
Well, and then there's time travel. If it's time travel capable Federation, then they can't lose. But
yeah,
and please correct me if I'm wrong. I am a complete noob when it comes to Star Trek.
Yeah.
But let's see. Zergrush.
Yeah, how the fuck was Snoke able to get so many of the Imperial remnants under his thumb and so many followers? Who the fuck would follow this
Ren,
grotesque tumor-looking sick motherfucker who looks like he's had a stroke?
the explanation is there is no explanation. That's the general rule when it comes to new canon expanded universe.
Maybe that's what Rian Johnson's new trilogy will be about.
Here,
Uh,
let me just do this again. What? That's really dumb.
let's see. Kale Bach asks, what do you guys think would happen if the Rusan Reformation didn't happen and the Army of Light and the Republic Army still existed? Okay.
Well,
Clone Wars probably wouldn't have happened.
Well, okay. Immediately after, so like 300 years after is when. No, actually, no. Immediately after. Do you think if the Army of Light was still around, that they would have eventually caught Bane and Zana, or
if they knew they were alive.
if they knew they were alive, of course?
Because, I mean, the battle on Tython would probably still happen, and if those Jedi still died, there may have been more of a formal investigation. Like, they would probably put two and two together thinking, wait a minute. A bunch of Jedi are dead. Masters. Death by lightsaber wounds and the Force. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. 300 years after, there's the Mandalorian excision, which either would have happened earlier, I think, or may have been avoided entirely in the scenario where they're like, just, hey, back off. But,
Oh, shit. Delta died.
I'm sorry.
oh, no!
Did you hear
It
the
went out
question?
What was the question?
What do you think the Republic
If
would
the
be?
Rusan Reformation didn't happen.
Oh,
if-
I
if the-
responded. I guess you guys didn't hear me.
Oh,
No.
shit.
Never mind. I just said the Clone Wars probably wouldn't
Oh,
have happened.
well, yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
We're just talking about, like, you know, the Army of Light tracking down Zana and Bane. We initially said no, but I brought up the duel on Tython, where if that still happens, there may be more of a formal investigation, and if you have, like, the full weight of the Republic military and Army of Light to throw around, to go looking for them. Like, individuals who
Right.
killed Masters with the Force and lightsabers, I don't know if they'd be caught, but it would make their maneuvering much more difficult. It would make the rise of the Sith, in my opinion, much more difficult. And you would never have the Clone Wars situation occur. It would more so, I think the ultimate, like, Sith gambit wouldn't be coming into contact and controlling, like, the Republic the way Palpatine was able to, but more so trying to trigger a civil war, or basically trying to pull like a Roman, like a Caesar, where a Sith slowly works up the ranks of the military, gains control of, for lack of a better term, a legion, and tries to take over the Republic for its own betterment. I don't know.
Crosses the Hydean
Yeah.
instead of the Rubicon.
That's the thing. I think the Republic and the Jedi would become much more militaristic. I think the Jedi Order would probably open up to the idea of marriage and sex, because that's a great way to replenish your numbers. But I think it would be more akin, instead of being like Buddhist monks, they'd be more akin to like the monks of the Knights Hospitaller Templar.
Here's something interesting. Yoda is born 100 years after the Rusan Reformations. Do you think a Yoda who was raised in this more, do you think he would be any different in this more militaristic Jedi Order?
It depends on whether or not his master is the same master, because it wasn't his incredibly long-lived.
He was like that snake-looking dude.
Because if
It
that's
was,
the case, then
Oh, Apo Rancisis.
No, not no. That wasn't his master. There was another snake-looking dude, who Master Gormo, he says, Uncata del Gormo, Hisalarian. Okay. According to legend, he found and traded Yoda. Okay. But wait, guys, are you there?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, okay. Nkata del Gormo. Okay.
Eclectic, what I mean is more so the militaristic order, not so much the chastity part. I don't think that would be a thing. I'm just saying, like, more akin to that. They're devout in their beliefs, but they aren't, constantly in quiet meditation. They're undergoing, training, martial
Him and
training and
Yaddle
such.
would have gotten it on probably.
Ultimately, I think Yoda would be the same if his master was alive at the time and still trained him.
Right.
Because
Right.
that mostly stays the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Eclectic 1995. I think all the major knight orders, Hospitaller, Templar, Teutonic, all of them swore vows of chastity, but
With that said, though, um,
Who
I
put that on a recruitment poster and said, "Yeah, that'll get people to join"?
well, it's well during the First Crusade, it was more like a lot of the Templars were
I don't.
were.
Here's the thing. I don't think
Cr-
they. I don't
Hmm?
think the Templars and Hospitallers they didn't show up proper until a while. The First Crusade was made up of, for lack of a better term, lesser nobles who are trying to find their place and exploit an opportunity in the Holy
No,
Land.
no, yes, but the armies themselves were often criminals seeking redemption, in at least in the eyes of God,
Yeah.
to them. But
Also, I hope you understand, Solar Dragon, that you may have created a meme for my fan base. Good
oh
job.
dear God. Okay, so there's traps, there's nuclear incest, there's
Incest
is
Wars.
Ben.
And cucked Solo.
Oh
No, no,
no.
no, no, no. Solo cucked instead of Solo Cup.
Red Solo Cook.
I'm Solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han
Oh
Solo.
God!
No, but I ultimately think if the Rizon Reformations didn't happen, I could see the Jedi Order eventually splitting apart. Maybe not like the same way it did with the Jedi Sith split, but more so like for lack of a better term, a Protestant Reformation where some of them pick up and leave to go back to the roots of the Jedi, to be individuals who explore the deeper mysteries of the Force, who were about peace. And
Okay, so they're kind of like Genaltus's sect.
maybe just I could see that happening, and I could also see the Republic becoming more fascistic in a way. If their military is still up to snuff and up and running, they're gonna need something to do, and I don't know, or maybe not fascistic, but more authoritarian in a way.
Yeah, instead of sending a couple Jedi to put down a local dispute, send a regiment to
Yeah.
whip them
Yeah.
in line.
Here's the thing. Oddly enough, though, with the loss of
The Yinchor uprising wouldn't have been nearly as bloody.
True.
ultimately, yeah, I think
Oh God, how do you think Galadron would have went down?
Oh God, the Mandalorians, there'd be nothing left.
Yeah,
here's the
poor
thing.
Django.
No, here's the thing. Do you think the destruction of Mandalore via the Excision, do you think that would have happened? Because that was an operation that I recall was
By
led
the
by the
judicial
Jedi.
forces and the Jedi.
That probably would have happened.
As I said, I think it may have happened earlier, if because they were worried, because it took them a while to actually gather the forces to be able to do that from the judicials being so scattered and not that centralized and strong, with a more and they may have had a lower tolerance for the strength that the Mandalorians were getting to.
Here's the thing.
Because think about it,
Oh, I'm just saying, like, I think as opposed to open genocide, which let's not mince words, what I could see more so is, again, the Republic would need enemies to fight, something to keep their military occupied. I honestly think a war with the Mandalorians, like, of conquest would break out. And
Right.
it wouldn't be the complete destruction of their people and culture like we saw with Galadran, which was, a desperate attempt to keep the Ruzan Reformations viable and keep the
Right.
galaxy the way it was. I think that could have been what happened instead. The Mandalorians aren't destroyed, but it would sow the seeds for
For
future
another crusade.
conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Here's here's another idea. If you
I
think
don't.
about it, in that time period, the only other non, I mean, aside from the unknown regions,
The
the only
Huts.
major, yeah, the huts.
I
They're the
think
only
I
other.
could
Do you think
I
they
could
would have
see
been?
the Republic going to reclaim that and stamping out any sort of.
Yeah, that's a
I would see a
possibility.
zero tolerance policy toward their corruption.
Exactly. Hmm.
yeah, I'm thinking
Uh,
yeah. I don't know. I think the galaxy would be a much more interesting, hectic place, but
yeah.
the Republic would probably be worse off, but the galaxy itself would be better. The issues of slavery wouldn't be prevalent. The Mandalorians wouldn't be essentially wiped out, and it would become much, much more difficult for a supreme chancellor, for the Sith, to rise to power in the way they did and to create an empire. With that said, I could see a lot more rebellions and other issues popping up, but all in all, I think the galaxy would be better off.
That's an interesting.
Would tech
Yeah.
be increased? Probably, if they're
Yeah,
not focused
I
on
mean, yeah,
war.
war breeds technological advancements.
to an extent. Like if they, as the few thousand years before showed, constant war
Well,
that's
it depends on the
devastating.
scale too.
Right. If it's devastating populaces, technology is going to regress and it's going to regress hard. But if it is just this casual, like if it's this just gradual build, going around, reconquering the galaxy, um, rebuilding it, I could see innovation going back up quite quickly.
I mean, yeah, and it depends how long the conflict goes too. Like, well, for example, World War II, the Germans they invented the jet, and but
Yeah,
then
Me-262.
yeah, and but then by the end they were sending literally everyone to the front lines,
With surplus
and so
weaponry.
no factory workers, no
Frontline infantry.
engineers,
Frontline
Yeah.
infantry. Frontline infantry. Frontline infantry.
frontline infantry. So, oh yeah, I think we discussed that this was basically in a prior episode that this is probably something similar to what happened during the Republic Dark Age.
Yeah. Yeah, it ultimately, like, I actually think the rule of two might have fallen apart. Because if you're making no progress over the course of several centuries and you're constantly being hunted, all it takes is one apprentice to go, yeah, fuck that.
Right,
So,
and one did in the actual in the actual continuity, but he was stopped before because he destroyed a lot of the Sith lore, and I believe it
no, I'm not even saying like trying to
was it
destroy the Sith that way. I'm more so saying trying to basically rebuild a new Brotherhood of Darkness or other such things, creating a
Darth
cult.
Gravid. That's right, Jedi Acolyte 22. Thank you. You know that name always confused. I'm like Gravid, like pregnant is like what? That's an interesting name. Okay.
Yeah. Um, I think, all in all, there'd be something that's fun to speculate about, but we're never
Yeah.
gonna see it. And if we did, I wouldn't want to because I'd probably be let down. It's an idea that's cooler in our minds than it is put
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
just a fun thing to think about.
Solar Dragon. Do you think the one Sith was just a ploy by Crate to control others, kind of like the Brotherhood of Darkness?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, he didn't necessarily expect to die, and
The
then he
fucker
died.
lived a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's old. Goddamn Tuscan Jedi
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Tuscan who's
sorry,
not a Tuscan.
Jusavisa. I don't remember what episode we talked about that. Jusavisa is asking about why ground battles in Star Wars, like especially the Battle of Geonosis, why their tactics are so
Bad.
Napoleonic, for lack of a better term.
Because they hadn't
Looks
fought a war in
cooler
a
on
1,000
screen.
years.
Well, and
And that.
I believe it was 3 episodes ago. I may be. Well, audience, will you be bored if I reiterate?
Just
Yes or
reiterate
no?
quick.
Just
Do it.
okay. Basically, in the case of Geonosis, for example, think about who's fighting and who are the commanders. On the Republic side, there's the Jedi who weren't expecting a war, who most of them don't know the first thing about warfare, and are just told, "Hey, let's go there." The clones are a group of who are very capable soldiers, but who are also drilled from birth to follow orders absolutely. So when a Jedi and been given and are told to follow that the Jedi know what to do. So when the Jedi says, "Let's go hit them," they're like, "Yes, sir," and don't complain. On the other side, there's droids who also, just when it comes to the CIS, it makes sense why they deploy in formations like that. But but you eventually see that warfare throughout the Clone Wars changes. Compare Geonosis to the Battle of Kashyyyk. You see clones in trenches. You see them firing from
Cover.
from cover and positions, wearing actual camo, and
Well,
yeah,
the Battle of Geonosis was almost a last-minute thing, if you think about it.
that too. And so that's basically that's a shortened version of why.
Alright. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. I may or may not have to give birth to a food baby.
God.
So there's that. A Taco Bell food baby. So it's
Ah,
it's gonna look like something out of Full
Ay,
Metal
Dios
Alchemist.
mío.
It's gonna look like something out
Ay,
of
Dios.
Full Metal Alchemist after a botched human transmutation job.
Oh boy.
Yep. So it's been a good time. I may or may not do the Incest Wars video because
No, stop. Delete
yeah,
this.
no, because that's too good of an idea. And also, deep down, I want to watch the world fucking burn. And deep down, I would love it if that was
I
the
thought
video.
that was going in a very different direction.
No, deep down, I want it, like, that video to become, like, viral. Like, if that would be the first video I ever had that reached 1 million, which is fucking ton, I would die of laughter.
Oh dear God.
And that's why I want to do it. So I may do a video creation stream. We'll see. But, yes, do you guys have any final thoughts?
CIS did nothing wrong.
CIS did not. Dr. Evazan, I'm CIS.
Alrighty. Well,
He wasn't. You don't get to bring friends.
alrighty.
Please, audience, tell me you know what I'm talking about. Please, I need this.
Alright, guys. Well, it's
Okay.
been
All right.
it's been fun. CIS did nothing wrong. Incest Wars is best wars. Yada yada. See you guys all next time. Goodbye.